It's been a rough couple of hours. Trying to convince James to do this. James and I have got the floor finished, framed and up.
I need my not winter gloves now. My hands are getting all sweaty. Don't be so far away.
Oh, it's been a rough couple of hours getting ready to do what we're about to do. But I think the hardest part was trying to convince James to do this, which I mentioned earlier yesterday. So like I said, we have a lot of roosters, and I am making the compromise of getting rid of 4 out of the 6. There's the 2 that I want to keep, Dusty and Rod. So I've convinced James to make another chicken coop, which was not an easy task because his heart and mind is set on taking down this one that's beside us that you've seen a million times, and building a chicken coop paradise, which I can't wait for. But that is going to be done after we're done the greenhouse.
So I eventually convinced myself that this is needed anyway. I just don't want to build something that is shoddy and not necessary, but Michelle has such a love for birds and all living things. Anyhow, so we're gonna give this a shot, and in the back of our where the chickens have runs, there's essentially 3 separately connected runs. So we're going to put this kind of where they all intersect, and it'll be accessible from the main run, and then we can also have hatches to go to each other of the other 2 runs.
Yeah, so we can have separate areas for chickens in different stages of when we're either hatching out chicks, bringing in new chicks, and in the case of right now, we've got these 2 roosters that we want to keep, and but we have to keep those 2 roosters separate from Poke, our main rooster, and the rest of his hens. And those 2 roosters are going to have to live, or will be living, in this new temporary kind of coop thing that we're going to build until we get them their own flock of hens. So the plan is to go see Cindy at Frustrated Farmers and get between 16 and 20 hens. This could happen next week, or it could happen in the spring. We're not sure. I'm just going to play it by ear and see how the 2 roosters do by themselves. They're going to have their own separate coop, fenced off from the other flock. They're going to have their own run. Everything's going to be separate. So I'm just going to watch them and see how they do. And if they seem bored or depressed or anything, just being the 2 of them, I'll probably be motivated to go and get more hens sooner. And then that's going to be a whole integration process with that as well. So the main thing that I think convinced James at the end was that when we are tearing down this coop and building our coop Shangri-La, we will need a place to house the chickens that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And this will be for that purpose, because we can't have construction going on while they're living in the coop, and we don't have anywhere else to put them. So I think that was the deciding factor in doing this and keeping these 2 roosters, because at the end of the day, we want to have a much larger, or I want to have a much larger flock. And this is sort of the process of how we have to get to there. We hope. I don't know if anybody's done this before. I did very limited Google research on, separating flocks and that. There wasn't a lot out there, so we'll definitely keep you posted on how this goes. But we went to town yesterday and we got OSB.
Yeah, this is going to be for the wall. So the shed's going to be just 8x12 with a gable roof. Really simple.
Yeah.
One door, couple hatches.
We have some of the materials. We have some tin roof that we're going to use, but we did have to buy the OSB and
No, I had this.
you had this from before. Yeah. And some nails.
Yeah. So it's just going to be a 2x4 platform floor, elevated, so that chickens can go underneath for shelter.
Mm-hmm. And something dry where they can just bathe underneath.
And we're not insulating this one.
No.
So
if the temperatures do drop between now and spring, do drop as low as they have been the last couple of weeks, we are either going to have to bring in an outside heat source. James has another heater that we can bring in, but we are limited to power out here as well. Or those two roosters are going to have to spend the night in the house, which is something that we've done before.
I'll get heat going.
James will get heat. We'll have two roosters cock-a-doodle doing at 4 a.m. in the morning. So today, like I said, we've had a rough start. I let the older chickens, free range a little bit, and then Jojo hadn't seen a chicken out in the yard for a few months, so she didn't chase it, but she kind of scared it, and it ended up in a snowbank. So we had to go get the chickens, and just a few other things happened. So it's a late start today. We were hoping to actually have the structure built today for the most part.
I think you want.
I was hoping that.
Yeah. So
we're gonna do.
It's fine. Just the longest, most tedious part is going to be doing the floor and getting it in there and leveled out.
Yeah.
So we can. Yeah, and then we also might have a load of logs coming today, which is
right in this area.
So we'll see what happens. That's okay. Let's start by getting everything leveled out, and and we'll do the platform, and then we're also going to be reusing some old form ply from the rammed earth for the flooring, and I might use it for the roof too. We'll see. But it's pretty beat up from ramming and everything else. So.
And we have a door that James has been saving for the nice coop that we might use on this, or we might have to find a secondhand door. We're going to try to do this as thrifty as possible, and as easy and cost effective as possible. There's some beside them. Is there more under here?
Just the one you're standing on. There's two you're standing on.
Oh. I go like this and nothing comes out.
You just push down on that handle.
Yeah. Ooh, like Christmas. You want?
This is it.
That's all you need?
Problem is, Jojo! Problem's the sand's a bit frozen.
I'll get more and I'll be back. Okay? Perfect. Nice super job. Also, this bit of snow over here needs to go.
That's good.
Tuck it upwards as well.
Too much going on. All that hay that I put down, not coming in handy right now. All has to be shoveled out. It's all mixed in with the snow. And so we can make a level area to dump the sand and then put the cement paper down. Okay, so far, what have we done?
Well, we're getting in the patio pavers.
Yeah, cleared all the snow out.
Yeah.
Tried to level off this area as best as you can. I don't know if you, as best as we can. I don't know if you can see our audience. I don't know if you can see how sloped we are in here, so it's
So
very tricky. What?
So this is the lowest point. And then by the time we come up to this corner, we're probably, how high is that?
2 feet.
It's pretty close to 2 feet. Yeah, we'll see. We'll be able to tell when we put it in.
Yeah.
So it's the ground's pretty uneven, but that's okay. So we're putting in these patio pavers. So I can post down to them. It just gives bigger surface area. It's not a foundation by any means. It's not a permanent structure. However, it's going to give more surface area, so it's not going to want to settle. And we're putting the sand in just to make it so we can make the patio pavers what?
Level.
Level.
And the sand was, of course, frozen. That was the sand we were using for the rammed earth. So we had to break all the sand up, which was a arm-breaking workout for me. James has been shoveling for weeks on end, so he's good. And what else?
I gotta go shovel.
We've got 3.5 done, and we still have 3 more to go.
Yeah, that's okay. I got the sand and now we'll do these 3. And then I can build the floor
Okay.
section out where it's nice and flat.
Yeah.
Bring it in just as a frame.
Yeah.
Post it up.
Yeah.
And then we're going to sheet the floor.
Okay. And that'll be it for today. And we'll finish the rest tomorrow.
We'll see, we got wood coming at 4.
Oh, at 4.
Logging truck.
Okay. The chickens want to come in really badly, but there's just too much going on.
This doesn't have to be perfect, really, just so I can cut things relatively square and it's that easier. This is just gonna ideally help it stop from settling. Yeah, it's gonna be close. We'll see.